Well, guys, let's dig deep into the gameplay here. This is going to be a long session, so grab some popcorn here, and we're going to see everything, hopefully, that Tyranny has to offer from combat, diplomacy skills, all the RPG aspects. I'm really hoping we can dig deep into the flesh of the game. So here we are. We are in Terratus? If this is your first visit to the world Tyranny, watch these windows to help you get an idea. So those are tutorial messages. Looks like we have Thrust, which is what we selected for our abilities here. We have Hobble, has some range on it. Thrust is pretty close. I like how they show you the range of your abilities when you highlight them. That's extraordinarily useful in tactical games. Searing Palm, and then we have Frozen Grass. So we have some CC, we have some damage, we have conflicting elements, fire and cold, so I don't know how that'll affect things. Let's talk to her, though. Kairos, the Lord be praised. And yes, look at that. Now that is such a nice use of UI and design here, where you can see more about that figure whenever they're talked about, they're linked to. So you can be like, oh, this is Kairos, this is what he does. Cool. Conversations involve you, another character, and sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interject. The choices you make change how the story develops and will build a reputation for your character over time. People in the world will learn of your reputations, good and bad, and respond accordingly. Your character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you made in the conquest, may all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on the individual personality and attitude. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with. So this is the disfavored. He even shows me my favor with them. Favor or wrath. Oh, so you can make enemies. The tooltip can provide details, as we just saw. Okay. You'll often see the names of important characters and locations displayed in gold. The tooltips on these glossary entries provide you with important information about the world. Okay. Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Nerat. That is the Archon of Secrets. Okay, who serves the Scarlet Chorus. Okay, vacillating between commanding the vanguard and directing his armies in absentia. She catches herself clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archon, so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbreakers. Oh, what is this? Lore. So I have the lore skill, which tells me about things. In honor of the Vendrian Guard reneging on the surrender of 429, soldiers in both the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus now refer to these tiersmen as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. Okay, and the Disfavored, it tells you who they are. Cool. Gained a major victory. Okay. Aurora then says, but on a personal note, it is good to see another Harbinger. It's our conquest decision. Barely 10,000 disfavored departed the Northern Empire to conquer the Tiers, and the disfavored in country today were part of that original muster. While Scarlet Chorus faces come and go, you've seen a lot of the same disfavored over the years. This is Aurora, Stone Shield of the second cohort, veteran of the original Vendrian's Well campaign 2 years prior. You saw a battle with her and her team in the infiltration of the Tiers that occurred weeks before the major opening battle at the Gates of Judgment. Those who took part in these daring pre-war raids refer to each other affectionately as Harbingers. Cool. Because they were the bringers of Kairos, as she's about to say, I'm sure. By Kairos' will, most of our old invasion force still lives, but most of us have been scattered across the tiers, reassigned as needs change. I miss those days, when there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory still to be won. But I know the Archons are expecting you. Don't let me wax nostalgically about the old days. Disfavored, gain major favor. Okay. Well, I am in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. I come bearing the Edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task, or die. Or, because I have lore 20, I guess it's a test? Lore skill determines a character's ability to decipher information and put together clues. The skill is critical for magic users who wish to learn new runes. Lore is also used in dialogue to determine what you know about the history of the world, or to impress others with your intellect. Can you hear that hum in the air? That glow around the rocks? The avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. You gain 21 lore skill experience. So are we gaining experience in individual skills? Huh. Aurora then says, your senses see more than mine. Good Fatebinder, I do not pretend to know much about such things. But if that was Kairos' magic, you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. And just a refresher, an edict is Kairos' most powerful magic. It's a law, a commandment cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless night, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict. Though each edict is often worded to include some condition or contingency that will see its end. Some edicts have been short-lived, delivering days of wanton catastrophe, just as many have lingered for centuries. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague? An edict of twisted bones? I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task, or die. The edict is leveled against us? Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking any action. Why should the Overlord punish both of... She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me, it is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. If we all follow Kairos' will and stop the insurrection, no harm will come to any of us. So... Disfavored, minor favor gain. Glare silently, disfavored. Gain very minor wrath. 2 Archons and their armies cannot take a citadel they've taken before. Of course Kairos is displeased. We can gain some wrath that way. Or, using subterfuge, your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kairos resorts to an edict to enforce order. Let's do that one. We need some subterfuge skill experience. Yes, well, her eyes shift to the side. There has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you are right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord? She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales. And you're right. I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. 3rd time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Alright, combat! Yay! It's not one of those RPGs that takes forever to get into combat. Okay. Tyranny uses a pausable, real-time combat system, because you will often manage more than one character at a time. It's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu will also contain many options for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. At the start of combat. Press spacebar to pause and unpause the game. Your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon, or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their ability bar displays their hotkeyed abilities, as well as new abilities and spells are gained. They are automatically added to the utility bar, or ability bar. All of your character's abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category icon at the bottom of the selected frame. Abilities are grouped into talents, spells, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, and stances. That's a lot of fucking abilities. Holy crap. Category icons for weapon sets and quick items follow. Weapon sets? You can have up to 4 weapon sets that you can swap between. All characters start with 2 available. The Abundant Arms talent allows all party members to access additional weapon sets. Huh. Each weapon set requires a primary, which can be a 2-handed if you want. Shields are offhand. So basically, like, I can, like, go to, like, a 2-hander if my character's not being attacked, and then switch to, like, sword and shield or something like that. Characters can swap, but they will incur a recovery penalty for doing so. Oh, they don't tell you what the recovery penalty will be? To use an icon, left-click on the corresponding ability, or press the hotkey. Your cursor will change to indicate whether your mouse is a valid target for the ability. If the cursor has a red X, you are not over a valid target. If the cursor has a pair of feet, you'll need to move closer to the target to use that ability. For abilities that target party members, you can click on the party portraits to target the ability on that party member. Okay, cool. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 5 primary defenses against attacks: parry, dodge, endurance, will, and magic. These defenses are based on their character's attributes, as we saw earlier during the character generation, equipped items, and their other effects. A character's accuracy is based on their skill at the type of weapon they are wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defenses when an attack is made to determine if they will hit. There are 4 possible results: hit, critical hit, graze, and miss. A critical hit increases your damage, while a graze reduces it. With each attack, you gain experience with the weapon skills used to make the attack. Even a miss will grant some experience. So again, you're gaining experience with skills individually and not towards levels. Alright, well, let's do this then. I'm not even close enough for shit. I don't know how fast I'm going to move. There we go. So we'll hobble him, I guess. We have a 68%.
On it.
Cool. Moving to melee. Let's freeze his ass.
Right.
So he'll move up automatically. That's cool. Am I casting? Okay, so there's like a kind of a long cooldown for some of these things.
I got it.
Is that his health bar? That must be. Yeah. At full health, he only has a little bit of health left, I guess. Thrust.
Will do.
That's 1 down. Let's check further along the path for more. There's a potion of protection, some armor, and a whetstone. 2 armor penetrated by attacks for 300 seconds. So those are like small buffs. I like that. Okay. Hey, buddy, you're running way too far ahead. The avalanche has blocked us. Think you could fit through the rubble? 30 athletics required, so squeeze through the gap. I guess I could like roll the boulder on top of them.
We have company.
That's another dishonored, it looks like. Alright, so let's freeze his ass. Can I queue up stuff? Wonder which one I'm going to use. So okay, that was just a thrust. Huh. Alright, let's go ahead and freeze his ass then. Ow. Got him. Oh, even though he's... I don't think he was frozen, huh?
I got it.
Oh, that was a quick cast time. Do these tell you, like, the cast time? Get him. I'm using my staff. There we go. Because, yeah, we should probably be using this. So I have a recovery penalty. Or the mal engaged. I graze him for 1 piercing. I hit him for 2 piercing.
Right.
There we go. So let's go ahead and go over here and try to help this dude. So I think I might have to switch to my staff.
I got it.
Maybe not. Okay, so she was hobbled. 2 piercing. They're doing like way better damage than me. 3 piercing. My abilities do good damage, it seems. I don't seem to have any mana or anything.
I got it.
I'm curious, what does my staff do for me? 13 frost, but this has 8 to 13 pierce versus dodge, and this is versus dodge as well. So the attack spells control frost. Determines a character's ability to evoke and control spells of frost, and this is magic staff. Okay, which I do have a proficiency for that. Okay, okay.
Will do.
So it actually shows that I'm hurt. Damn straight. So what do we got here? Sun Soldier's Javelin. So 1 more armor penetration, 2 more accuracy. Huh. Or maybe that's just like the basics. Alright, let's talk to this dude. Don't bother with me. Go down to the past, Drastus. Drastus, he clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his fingers. You're wounded, and it's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. This? But a scratch. I've seen twice as worse, 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you'll let me help. I said, I'm fine. Graven Ash, protect. You go on and help the others. Alright. I wonder if I auto-looted when I like clicked on one of the bodies. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Maybe if I had removed the rock, that guy could have followed me or something. And I recovered full health. It looks like after that battle. We'll revive. So, wow, this like resurrects myself? That's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm missing anything else I should be like clicking on. Is that the Scarlet Chorus?
Try and catch me, worm.
Verse. A young Scarlet Fury weaves around the Vendrian Guard attackers, avoiding their weapons with fluid grace. She nods to acknowledge you. A breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Fate finder. Here at last. Here to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery.
She nods to the armed soldiers. Alright. Save something for me. For the realm of the Apex, charge! The Vendrian Guard level their weapons and advance. Alright. So let's check this out here. What is she, like, totally outnumbered? Heroism? Oh, he's casting a spell. Can I interrupt? Oh, I can control her. Cool. Alright. Blood-soaked stone. Party members Warlord Mal and Verse. Coordinate with Verse to knock your target prone, then follow up with a strong bleed attack. Huh. It's like a combo move? Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So she waits for me to knock him down. That was fucking cool. That was awesome. Holy shit. Yeah. Launch a burning arrow. That sets him on fire. Skewer. Alright, let's focus on this guy. And we'll thrust on him. Dude, she's strong. Right? Is that thrust? Yeah. Yeah, just finish him off. Alright, so just basic attacks are kind of fast. I don't know if there's like anything else. Okay, wait. The companion Verse has joined your party, and Verse is a capable warrior, skilled in both melee and ranged. As you acquire companions, you'll need to balance their strengths against the strengths of your character to be successful in combat. While it is possible to adventure alone, you will find the game more rewarding with a well-balanced party. Oh, you can adventure alone! There are now 2 characters in your party, and both are selected. Any commands you issue will affect both. To select a single party member, you can click on the portraits. You can control your new companion directly, or you can enable the AI to have them attack and use their abilities. Okay. You can right-click on the AI button. Let's take that off. I really like to manage my own people, you know. It makes for like a little more pausing, but I feel like it's better for me. Versus several stance abilities that provide her with different benefits in combat. Stances are modal abilities, meaning they can be toggled on and off. Only one stance can be active. Okay. When a stance is deactivated, all stance abilities enter cooldown. So where's her stances? Oh, I see. So, Seeking Sheath. Focus on striking with precision. Red Geyser. Fight aggressively, lowering parry and dodge defenses. While in this stance, a portion of all damage Verse takes will empower her next attacks. 3 Whispers. Enter a battle meditative stance that focuses on dodging. While in this stance, Unbound and Mocking Iron are also empowered. So this basically makes her like more accurate. Okay, cool. Neat stuff. Alright, well, let's screw this guy up. We'll unleash the ranged attacks on her.
Not a problem, boss.
Alright, yeah, go get him. And, yeah. Close in. Nice.
Did I always have
She is hurt, though. Help the disfavored battle the Vendrian Guard. Defeat the remaining rebels in the camp. Okay. When a party member takes damage, they start to lose health. When a party member's health drops low enough, they gain a wound, and the red health bar will turn red. Wounded characters have their maximum health reduced and receive a penalty to all skills. Wounds are removed when the party rests, or when a character levels up. Okay. So she doesn't have a wound yet. Okay, very cool. That's also kind of scary, too. Fighting multiple battles is pretty dangerous.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
The fighter surveys the fresh corpses and nods his satisfaction.
Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
Okay. Well, what are you doing
The
here?
forces of Nerat told me to intercept you at Edgering Ruins before you busied yourself solving all of the camp's problems. Guess I was too late. You're due for a meeting with the Archons, but we should handle the small matter of this ambush first.
Why are they attacking now?
My guess? The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
What's your role in the army?
Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed.
Okay.
Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Nerat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
Well, since he's the Archon of Secrets, right? Alright, fine. Let's go join the battle.
I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
So there's fear and loyalty with companions. I like that. Let's go with fear.
If they deserved my praise, they'd be standing here taking orders. As it is, they're dead and I'm alive. The beating of my heart is celebration enough. Apparently you haven't spent enough time in the front lines, or you'd know that.
Oh.
For the voices of Nerat!
She just freaks out. Alright, so here we go. Scarlet Fury Helm. Ceremonial Fate Binder of Tunon Hood. Is that like a magical like item like prefix or like something, or not sure. Lesser Healing Potion. Sigil of Reaching Grasp. I do not have enough lore yet. Hide. So I guess we'll take that. Now she does need some healing, and I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and change her battle stance to dodging. Here we go. Big fight. Eyes forward, no looking back, says Tarkus. The Vendrian Guard roars with his falx held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. Tarkus says, stand aside or your funeral will be over the side of the bluff. Seeing you squarely in his path, the soldier points his weapon your way. I applaud your bravery, but I implore you to end this foolishness and lay down your arms. Vendrian Guard gain minor wrath. I guess you can gain them. gain like their favor. There is no escape. For Oathbreakers, no surrender. Then we'll settle this with bronze. These fools don't know when to stop. I like that. Charge! Tarkus signals his men to charge. The sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements, hurry! Nice, so we have a little bit of help. Mocking Blaze. So they have like kind of like tribal names. I like that. Run down the Oathbreakers. Let none escape. From the red mob of reinforcements in the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble, the ornamental crest of her staff pulsing with crimson tones. Signing sigils of magic and wordlessly moving her mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds the Vendrian Guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Tarkus says, hold position, all of you! You there, keep to the path! The warrior gestures along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No! Don't engage them! We need to run! His orders falling on deaf ears, the warrior reluctantly readies his weapon. Can't command shit. Alright, so that was a lot of damage just right into her face. Did we start with full health? Or no? Alright, so these guys are ranged. Let's start with a nice bleed attack. There we go. Did we miss? Verse engaged him. We engaged him. Mocking Blaze hits Honor Guard, and I graze him. Okay. So I'll tell you what then. Let's freeze his ass. We need some CC. When inflicted upon an enemy, Scarlet Poison causes lasting damage. And we'll do Skewer on him.
You got it.
There we go. I don't suppose... Oh, we have some healing potions on her. Okay, that'll be good. And then Searing Palm is an affliction. Target ignites in flames, burning over time. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get everything going on him. He's getting killed pretty fast. Yeah, let's do this.
You got it.
I got it.
Ooh, she is hurting. Alright, why don't you run off? I don't even know if it's going to make a big deal or not. Bye! Damn. Is that Mocking Blaze?
I will. Will do. Right.
Alright, freeze his ass. Well, we've lost somebody a half hour into the game. Pretty cool.
On it.
That was cool. Alright, so she's okay. She just got knocked down for the combat. Maybe gained a wound. Crescent Runner says, come quick. We have a situation at the cliffside. They have the commander. Is she still badly hurt? Yes, she is. Did she get a wound? And she's regenerating. That's nice. Let's loot him. Vendrian Guard, heavy bronze helmet. Huh, it actually gives us unarmed DPS for the having the bronze gauntlets. And the bent bronze sword.
Will do.
Alright, let's double check everything. Severed skulls, bleached by the sun and picked clean by the carrion birds, are spiked on a roughly hewn post. Huh. It's a heraldry of the Scarlet Chorus. Agate and some armor. So it looks like we only have like a full suit here. Have that guard armor. Stow your weapons, or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Pelox says, cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. Drastus says, skewer him. Worried for me, not for me. Graven Ash will protect. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his bracers and cuirass. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? Pelox says, this blade? With a jerk of a knife, he slices off a clump of Drastus' matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step closer. Release the prisoner, and you might know the inside of a cell. We have to help Drastus. So, basically we just trade favor or wrath with either of these. Let's see if we can maybe interrogate him or something. I'm sure that this cell will have daily visits from Scarlet Chorus cads thirsty for a bit of torture. He shakes his head, pulling the captive closer. I'd rather take my chances with death. Now that's unfair. I assure you it's more a hunger for torture than a thirst, but you are correct. We have no charity left for those who have laughed at our mercy once before. The blood chanter slams her staff on the ground, curling her fingers with a quivering hand. If you fools won't deal with them, maybe I will. Whatever you're thinking, don't. Not until Commander Drastus is safe, Stone Shield says. Alright, let's help Drastus. Tyrell dashes the blade across Drastus' throat. Blood gushes out from the commander's neck, drowning out his final words. Tyrell points a knife towards you. Death to Kairos. Death to the Archons. The moment Drastus' body falls to the ground, the disfavored soldiers pounce forward, quickly reducing the Oathbreaker to a bloody mess. Huh. Drastus' death will be a setback. He was a fine steward of the steadfast. Aurora swallows, her lips pursed in anger. But, with the losses we've sustained in this war, I'm the next in command. I will aspire to be half of the leader Drastus was. One of the soldiers found some mage blather on the Oathbreakers. Aurora holds up a rolled sheaf of parchment. I figured, you being trained in letters, could perhaps... Aurora looks down at the papers, her face blushing, and quickly thrusts the sheaf towards you. All that training and nobody taught you to read? I have no time for this. I should be on my way to the Archons. I might as well look at it since we're here. Repeating the same messages in different written scripts, the parchments explain the Vendrian Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the Younger Realms to gather at Vendrian's Well. The Younger Realms. The realms of Azure, Apex, Stalwart, and Haven are collectively known as the Younger Realms, and together they represent the major political factions of the tiers. For centuries, the Younger Realms have battled amongst themselves for control of the tiers, with every realm having been at war with each other at least at some point in their memorable history. This lack of unified resistance allowed Kairos' armies to swiftly conquer the tiers. Recruitment material. They were trying to bring more traitors to the fight. There were likely other groups trying to flee the valley, but we can rest knowing we stopped this group. A shame it's at such a high cost. The Archons are expecting you at the disfavored war camp. When you are ready to leave, exit by the southeast gate and keep going that way through the foothills. Alright. So, thrown weapons +1. We got that at least. She does have a wound. I'm just wondering how to see that. Oh, companion combos, which we were already doing. Allows two characters to act in concert to create a powerful effect. Whoops, we didn't do that. When it's activated, you'll see the icon above their head set to the same ability. The combo will begin when each character is out of recovery, when the blue circle around the ability icon is gone. So recovery is just the time it takes to do something. It seems. So here's her stuff, her skills and attributes. Her talents, which we haven't really learned about talents yet because we haven't leveled up, it would seem. Welcome to the Ruin. That's complete. So here's our quests. Defeat them. Help the disfavored. The Conqueror's Will. Travel to the disfavored camp. Here's our faction stuff. Our companion stuff. Verse was appalled by your orderly, honorable ways. Fury's rage. Project intense flames towards Verse, which she can catch on her blades, and spins into an aura of wreathing flames around her. Nearby foes take burn damage. Huh, that's if we have fear. She fears us. And otherwise we get death from above. Launch Verse into the air, allowing to unleash a series of well-aimed arrows into the target from above. Each of these arrows strikes true and has armor penetration. Archons themselves. We can have favor and wrath. Okay. Next up is spell creation sigils. Spells are created using 2 or more sigils. The core sigil determines a type of magic, such as fire, frost, or illusion. The expression sigil determines how that core shapes itself into the world, such as a ball of fire, or frost enchanting a weapon. There are several categories of sigils that can accent a spell, granting it greater range, accuracy, or providing bonus secondary characteristics. To begin creating a spell, select the core sigil for the type of magic involved. For example, if you wanted to create a fireball, you should select the sigil of flame as the core, followed by the sigil of directed force to determine its shape. Spells have different names based on the selected core and expression. You can rename your spells using the spell interface. Each sigil requires a certain amount of lore skill to learn and control. Characters must have a lore skill at least equal to the spell's total difficulty to cast it. Once you have created it, use the assign button to add that spell to one of your party members. You can assign a spell to more than one party member. If you want to modify it later, when you discovered more sigils, select the spell from the party member you wish to modify. The interface will populate with it, allowing you to modify it and save your changes. Okay. You can customize your spells by selecting different icons. If you create multiple spells using the same core and expression, but with different accents, these icons can help you differentiate your spells. Each spell has a different name, a default name, but you can customize your spell's name to reflect it. And then finally, some accents allow you to modify the area of effect or the range. When you use these sigils, the casting UI will display the increased range as a second, more transparent area beyond the base area of the spell. That is cool. So we have the sigil of frost and sigil of fire. And the expression we have is just sigil of focused intent. Expression used to create spells that affect single targets near the caster. And then, so let's just say we did fire. We did that. We have no accents. Okay. This would create Searing Palm. Same spell we have. And I'm guessing the other one is Frozen Grasp. Just spells that affect people close to us. And she has a lore skill of 5, so she's worthless for spell casting. Alright, and then finally we have missives. Select a missive from the list on the left. So we have no idea what missives are. And I guess these are edicts or something else. I'm just guessing. So, anyways, this will conclude the first video for gameplay, I'm thinking. We did a pretty good job. This is a good place to end it. And then I think we'll continue on in the next one, maybe? Let me think about this for a second, guys. Yeah, I think this is a good place to end it because we did gain quite a bit of knowledge here in the game and did all of our first combat. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next one where we meet the Archons themselves, and that'll be a lot of fun. So I'll see you then.